groups due to internal disagreements. 6, that one of the groups subdivided the land, drew a new map, Sergoit-Karuna Block 5, which overlapped with the 1992 allocations, thus causing boundary disputes among the residents. That the Sergoit community and uncompensated landowners formed a committee that actively pursued the matter with the support of the county commissioner, who placed a caveat on any transactions on Crown land until the issues resolved. That out of the 1,500 acres, only 900 acres is occupied by genuine beneficiaries who are also facing displacement after the 2016 subdivision map. About 450 acres was allegedly acquired and inhabited illegally by private developers, while the rest of the 150 acres is a water catchment area, and that the matter presented in this petition is not pending before any tribunal, court of law, or any legal body. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, 1, engages the Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, and the relevant authorities with a view of investigating the alleged irregular land acquisition, illegal compensation process, and other malpractices for Crown land LR number 883/2 in Moiben constituency, Uasin Gishu. 2, recommends the due compensation of all members of Sergoit community who surrender their parcels of land for public utility. And 3, makes any other recommendation or action it deems fit in addressing the plight of the petitioners. And your petitioners will ever pray. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Barto. Honorable members, that petition is referred to the Public Petitions Committee. You want to make a comment? Honorable Dr. Pokose, you may.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the petition by Honorable Barto on the resettlement of his people of Sergoit. And Honorable Speaker, this issue about the former provincial administration, where they were getting money, and then once they have taken money from individuals, they allocate them money. It's not just in Sergoit, but I think it is something that has happened in areas where we've had issues of settlement. And Madam Speaker, I brought a petition for Jepchoina in my constituency. And up to date, it has not been addressed because in Jepchoina, you have people who have gone in and occupied other people's land where people have been, they have allotment letters, and then somebody comes and lives into that land. And I think the petitions committee needs to consolidate many of that. And we see it not just in Jepchoina and Sergoit, but in all over, especially in other places. We also have serious conmen who are engaged in fraudulent acquisition of people's lands. And I think it is the petitions committee should be able to consolidate and look at some of these petitions. And they even constitute to become historical land injustices. And the Constitution provides that Parliament has the ability to summon anybody. And I think former provincial administrators should not escape from being summoned, appear before the committee, and even if possible, they should be held responsible and accountable for the activities which they transacted. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi.
Madam Speaker, I also want to take this opportunity to support this petition. And as just mentioned by Professor, here, of course, in Trans Nzoia, we have this problem. And I think it's becoming more critical now, given that some of these people who actually acquired land illegally are bossing around. And therefore, I think this petition is quite timely. And I want to request that whoever actually is going to handle this, make us available, apart from, of course, the petitioner herself, those who are from Trans Nzoia, let's get involved so that I can be able to provide some of the information that are quite adequate because there are people actually who today are owning a large piece of land and they just, walked in and acquired this piece of land. And I think this case is very, very critical. I want to thank the petitioner for coming out, and I think when she's called upon to go and give evidence, let involve us as well to be able to at least give some more information that is very, very critical, and so that I can be able to have this case sorted out once and for all. I support the petition. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Sunkuli.
Madam Speaker, I also support the petition by the Honorable Professor, but the area that she's describing of Sirgoit is actually problematic, and the general area. Madam Speaker, I speak because many of the people from Kilgoris actually have a deep interest in the land in Uasin Gishu because that was the land from which they were evicted. But many of our constituents remain in Uasin Gishu. And when this petition is being considered, it is good to do a comprehensive job, including farms like Nyalil Bay Farm, which is not far from Sirgoit, where our people were given rights on the land, even by the courts, but they cannot get into the land because the government cannot implement court decisions. Madam Speaker, this petition is very important that we look into it, and exactly what Honorable Pukose says, this might reveal some historical injustices that were done, because this actually was our land, and our people must also get a good share of it.
Thank you. Last one on this will be the Honorable Owen Baya.
Honorable Speaker, I stand here to support the good professor on this matter on the land. But Honorable Speaker, there's something that very, very fundamental that we must cure before these petitions become useful to the people who we represent. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution 2010 established the National Lands Commission to look into historical land injustices, to review grants, and to handle all these issues about lands that have trouble. And this country has moved from the Ndungu Commission, from many commissions of land that could not cure all these problems because they were just commissioned because they did not have force of law. The National Land Commission was established with a force of law from the Constitution to help communities solve these problems. But today, Honorable Speaker, as you're aware, the power to review grants in the statute that established the National Land Commission expired. But the law in the Constitution has not expired. So there's a constriction on the implementation of the Constitution because of a statute that was passed in this House. Honorable Speaker, it will be very difficult for the people from Moiben to get justice on these issues of land if the National Lands Commission does not get its power back. Honorable Speaker, even if we give this committee the mandate to go and investigate, the Petitions Committee to go and investigate and do whatever appertains to the powers that they have, there's something that will be missing. The assistance and ability to solve these problems by the National Lands Commission. Because at the end of the day, the Ministry of Lands will just play pinky-ponka and there'll be nothing that will happen. So, Honorable Speaker, it is very important that we stand up as a House, reenact the law, ensure that National Lands Commission still has the powers so that it can help the many cases of land issues that we have. There has been some, lacuna, some kind of cooling of feet within the ministry. Somehow, probably they're not interested in having the National Lands Commission have the power back. But I want to ask you, Honorable Speaker, and this House, that we must stand to ensure the powers given to the National Lands Commission in the Constitution are given back to them so that they can review these grants, they can hear our historical land injustice, and liberate this country from the yoke of land issues all the time. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. I see a lot of interest in this, and so that we don't turn it into a debate, I'll refer this matter to the Public Petitions Committee as per Standing Order 208A. Deputy Majority Leader.
Order number 5, papers.
Deputy Leader of the Majority Party.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, August 14th, 2024, this morning's sitting. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for the year ended 30th June 2023, and the certificates therein in respect of the following constituencies. Alego Usoga, 2 Ugenya, Balambala, Garissa Township, Dadaab, Kitutu Masaba, Kipkelion East, Bomet East, Uriri, Ainamoi, Isiolo North, Laikipia North, Laikipia West, Keses, Kaio North, Kapseret, Nandi Hills, Soy, Marakwet East, Mumias East, Kandui, Ikolomani, Teso South, Matayos, Likuyani, Teso North, Makueni, Kajiado North, Kibwezi East, Shinyalu, Mumias West, Nambale, Kimilili, Sirisia, Enabkoi, Nakuru Town East, Kisauni, Kinango, Mvita, Othaya, Nyeri Town, Matuga, Changamwe, Nyali, Voi, Gishugu, Likoni, Kangema, Mwea, Quisero, Navaholo, and Butere. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Baya. Member, Select Committee on Appointments. The Honorable Dawood, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 14th of August, morning session. The following reports of the Special Funds Accounts Committee. 1. The 9th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Kenya National Highways Authority Maintenance Levy Fund, Kenya Rural Roads Authority Road Maintenance Levy Fund, Kenya Urban Roads Authority Maintenance Levy Fund, and Kenya Wildlife Services Road Maintenance Levy Fund for the financial years 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. Madam Speaker, number 2, the 10th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement for the Prison Industries Revolving Fund and Prison Farm Revolving Fund for the year 2020-2021 and 21-22 financial years. 3, the 11th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Tourism Fund and Tourism Promotion Fund for the year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. Number 4, the 12th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Agricultural Information Resource Center Revolving Fund for the year 2020 and 2021 and 2021-2022, and the 5th, 13th report of the Special Funds Account Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Agricultural Food Authority Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, Veterinary Services Development Fund, and the Government Press Fund for the financial year 2020, 2021, and 2021-2022. I humbly submit to lay these papers on the... Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dawood. Vice Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 14th August 2024. Report of the Public Accounts Committee on the procurement of external audit services for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial year 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Member Select Committee on Appointments. Is it the majority leader? Minority leader?
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 14th August 2024. Third report of the Committee on Appointments on the vetting of persons for appointment as Cabinet Secretary for East African Community Affairs and Regional Development and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, Minority Leader. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Member Select Committee on Appointments.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its third report on the vetting of the nominees for appointment as Cabinet Secretary for East African Community Affairs and Regional Development and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, laid on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 14th August 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 1522 and 1562 of the Constitution and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011, this House approves the appointment of the following persons. 1, Ms. Beatrice Askul Moy as the Cabinet Secretary for East African Community Affairs and Regional Development, and 2, Ms. Dorcas Agik Odong Odworo, Senior Counsel, OGW, as the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you very much. Vice Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee. Vice Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts Committee on the procurement of external audit services for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th August 2024, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 2264 of the Constitution and Section 43 of the Public Audit Act 2015, appoints MS PKF Kenya LLP for purpose of providing external audit services to the Office of the Auditor General, OAG, with respect to Roman 1, the accounts of the Office of the Auditor General for the period 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025, and Roman 2, the financial statements for the staff mortgage and car loan scheme for the Office of the Auditor General for the financial years 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, and 2024, 2025. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Chairperson, Special Funds Accounts Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is the Vice Chair. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 9th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Kenya National Highways Authority Road Maintenance Levy Fund, Kenya Rural Roads Authority Road Maintenance Levy Fund, Kenya Urban Roads Authority Road Maintenance Levy Fund, and Kenya Wildlife Services Road Maintenance Levy Fund for the years 2020 to 2021 and 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th of August, morning session. Madam Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 10th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Prisons Industries Revolving Fund and the Prison Farm Revolving Fund for the year 2020, 2021 and 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th of August, 2024, morning session. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 11th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Tourism Fund and Tourism Promotion Fund for the financial year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th of August, morning session. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 12th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Agriculture Information Resource Center Revolving Fund for the year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th of August, 2024, morning session. The last one, Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 13th report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Agricultural Food Authority Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, Veterinary Science Services Development Fund, and Government Press Fund for the year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 14th August, morning session. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, I would like to reorganize business, that we go to order number 8, 9, and 10, and then we'll be going back to 7. So we may proceed to the next order as per the rescheduling.
Order number 8, procedural motion, exemption of specified business from Standing Order 43.
Leader of Majority Party, the Honorable Owen Baya. You may approach the table.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing as order numbers 11 and 12-2 in today's order paper from the provisions of Standing Order 43, being a Wednesday morning, a day allocated for business not sponsored by the majority or minority party or business sponsored by a committee. Honorable Speaker, you know today is Wednesday, and Wednesday morning is usually a time when we debate private members' business. But Honorable Speaker, given that we have moved a very important motion today that needs to be discussed, therefore, we need to rearrange our business such that we allow that, though being a Wednesday morning, we allow that government business comes in, or committee business comes in the middle. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that we adopt this procedural motion and request the Honorable Dr. Pokose to second.
Dr. Pokose, you may proceed to second the motion.
Honorable Speaker, I stand to second the motion that of the procedural motion so that we can be able to dispense with other businesses. And I want to ask the intelligence of the members that we allow the business to be this procedural motion to allow us to dispense with these other businesses as we proceed on without anticipating that we'll be proceed on recess. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I now propose the question that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing as orders number 11 and 12, Roman 2, in today's order paper from the provisions of Standing Order 43, being a Wednesday morning, a day allocated for business not sponsored by the majority or minority party or business sponsored by a committee. Honorable members, may I put the question? Thank you. I now put the question that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing as order numbers 11 and 12 Roman 2 in today's order paper from the provisions of Standing Order 43, being a Wednesday morning, a day allocated for business not sponsored by the majority or minority party or business sponsored by a committee. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. Report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023. Question to be put.
Thank you, honorable members. I now put the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023, and seeks leave to sit again. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, motion. Policy for the provision of mental health services in all healthcare facilities. Question to be put.
Honorable members, I put the question that aware that Article 43(1)(a) of the Constitution provides that every person has a right to the highest attainable standard of health, including the right to health care services. Further, aware that mental health is a key determinant of overall health and socio-economic development. Recognizing the Constitution assigns to the national government the responsibility of matters of health policy, concerned that according to the World Health Organization, WHO, mental and neurological disorders are common and about 10% of the whole population suffer from at least one mental health disorder at any given time. Concerned that psychiatric units are only available in a few facilities in the country and patients requiring psychiatric services have limited or no access to these facilities, acknowledging that access to healthcare facilities would lead to improved overall health, increased economic productivity, social equity, and improved quality of life for all. Now, therefore, this House urges the national government, through the Ministry of Health, to collaborate with county governments to develop a policy integrating mental health care services in all healthcare facilities in the country. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, now the opportunity goes to the Honorable Mishimboko. You may proceed, Member for Likoni.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 44 2C I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation regarding the status on operationalization of Liwatoni Fishery Complex. Honorable Speaker, the Liwatoni Fishery Complex located in Mombasa County was initially launched in 2018 and subsequently gazetted as the first fishing port in the country. This landmark project aimed to provide a centralized facility for storage and processing of fish, while also serving as a catalyst for harnessing the country's vast potential in the blue economy sector. Honorable Speaker, the project has faced numerous challenges that have resulted in significant delays to its completion. However, the construction works for the project were recently resumed in 2023 with a renewed focus and two-phase implementation plan. The first phase, originally scheduled for completion by December 2023, involved finalizing essential construction works to enable utilization by key stakeholders. The second phase aimed to engage key stakeholder farms with deep sea fishing capabilities and sophisticated equipment to utilize the facility. It is therefore a crucial project for creating job opportunities among other benefits to the people. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation on the following. 1, the status of progress of construction works at the Liwatoni Fishery Complex, including estimated completion date and timeline for operationalization. 2, an overview of key stakeholders, including the level and nature of engagement conducted to align the engagements with the broader strategic plan of the Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs. 3, the steps taken by the ministry to address regulatory and compliance issues, including any challenges encountered. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Member for Likoni. Chairman, I can see you are in the House. The Honorable Kagogo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Madam Chair, the Liwatoni Fish Port, it's a very important strategic facility for this country, especially the coastal people. And it has had many challenges. And I want to promise the Honorable Member Polikoni, Madam Chair, that I will bring answer in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, Chairman. 2 weeks for your answer, Honorable Mishimboko. Next is the Honorable Machua Waithaka, Member for Kiambu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Request for statement regarding the status of Kirigiti Stadium. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Sports and Culture regarding the current status of the Kirigiti Stadium. Honorable Speaker, the Kirigiti Stadium is a crucial sports infrastructure project for the country. It's designated to host international events and provide a state-of-the-art facility for our athletes and youth. The construction of the 16,000-seat capacity stadium began in November 2020, with the government committing to upgrade it to international standards fit to host local and international matches and events. However, it's deeply concerning that despite being declared 90% complete a year ago, the project remains unfinished and non-operational. The prolonged delays have significantly impacted the development of the sports in the region. Currently, the stadium is only being used as a venue for national holiday celebrations by the county government, falling short of its intended purpose. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Sports and Culture on the following. 1, a report on the current status of construction of the Kirigiti Stadium, including specific timelines for when it will be complete and open to the public. 2, the total amount budgeted for full completion of the stadium versus how much has been spent against the works undertaken so far. And 3, reasons for the delay in completion of the stadium and steps the government is taking to ensure its full operationalization. Madam Speaker, I would like to also add that the stadium today on the eastern side is being used by the contractor who is still on site as a construction site. The area residents have also started using it as a dumping site. 3, the drainage around the stadium is in pathetic state, and the residents of Kirigiti around the stadium have been complaining about the drainage because the water, when it rains, drains back to the residents of Kirigiti. So these are issues that are affecting the environment around Kirigiti Stadium, and I think that these issues should be looked into, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair, Committee on Sports. Any member of that committee? Minority Leader, this then goes to you. Majority Leader, this goes to you.
Honorable Speaker, I will definitely inform the chairperson. Thank you.
Okay. Next order.
Order number 11, the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2024. Resumption of debate.
Honourable members, debate on this particular bill was ongoing, and I would need to know from the members who have put their cards here whether they want to contribute to this. Honourable Rasso, you want to contribute to this? Go ahead. Allow him to have a couple of minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for this. I rise to support this particular bill that has been presented by the Senate. I've also gone through the report that has been provided by our Parliamentary Budget Committee. And clearly, the observation therein has been occasioned by the austerity measures that have been caused by a standing down of the bill 2024-25. So it simply means there is a big hole in that particular budget, and this has caused the county allocation to be reviewed downwards from 46.6 to 61.9 billion. This indeed is a big hole. Honorable Speaker, when you look at the additional allocation to our counties are monies that are provided by development partners from many areas: water, health, urban development, sanitation. And all these are very different facets that addresses the basic human necessities in those counties. But also, the government does what you call matching fund. These monies, from my understanding, although they are allocated to the counties, the National Assembly or the Senate does not have a clear purview of how these funds are utilized, how they are oversighted. Is it directly from the ministry or directly from the department or institution that gives the money? who indeed oversights this fund, because it doesn't form the mainstream part of the budget allocation to the county. For that reason, I think going forward, we as the National Assembly, we must protect the national coffers, and we must make sure that funding to the counties is timely, it is efficient, but also those funds must be efficiently utilized from those counties. Although it is the Senate that oversees the counties, but the people who live in those counties live in constituencies. And those are people, and it must be of concern to us. Article 95, Sub-Article 1, matters of concern to the people. Honorable Speaker, some of the areas that I see the committee has recommended is to decline things like transfer of museum functions from the national government to the counties. One of the difficulties we are seeing is the human capital that obtained in our counties, where a lot of technical issues fail to be done and funds are allocated. And when you are giving things like museums, where you need the curators, the researchers, scientists of different levels of expertise will look after museum. So if we just say because of funding, let us give this function to the counties, then we may be killing the goose that lays the golden egg. Because around the world, a major tourist attraction, a major contributor on the side of tourism fund is museums. So for that reason, I support what the committee has advised in terms of museums. Secondly, it is the issue of county aggregation and industrial parks. Our Vision 2030 envisions that Kenya will be a middle-income country, industrialized. So having industrial park in counties, although we cannot do all of them in one hog, is really important. But when you look at the allocation of 105 million to the different counties, it simply means we are chipping slowly to give these counties edge. But I would rather, in my submission, let us say, for example, we establish the industrial parks in Isiolo first. Then we go to the next county, the next next year, part 1 financial year. So that these industrial parks, if you don't put in enough money, eventually they'll just be white elephant. Funds have been put, there isn't enough fund to complete it. And also counties may not have enough funding for this particular project. Finally, Honorable Speaker, it is the issue of community health promoters. This is the first line of community health workers of preventive rather than curative. These are some of the initiatives that we have borrowed from other jurisdictions or other countries. And a good example is Cuba, where the community health promoters are the ones that have a clear view on what are the sort of common elements in the communities, and it is dealt with first line through health, through improving water, through improving health checks. By the time the individual goes for curative, then it simply means that the first line has not worked. And it has been seen that Cuba health system is very well organized, and it is among the best in the world. So for that reason, we must look at financial allocation to the community health promoters, most probably with the chipping of allocation to this particular area, then it means we may downsize a lot of youngsters who are working in this area. It is something that we must remain seized so that communities are really not disadvantaged to a great extent. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to support.
Thank you. Honorable Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Although I was of the opinion that maybe we call the mover to reply, because I can see we have a committee of the whole House on the same, and I can make my contributions during the committee of the whole House. So I would... Yes. Yes.
This is your chance to reply to the debate on the bill.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I arise to reply to the County Government Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2024. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, I want to appreciate all the members who have contributed to this bill, because this is a very important bill that seeks to give additional conditional allocations to our counties to enhance services and provision of the very basic and important services to our people. Honorable Speaker, this is a Senate bill that was originated by the Senate, and we know that the Senate prosecuted this bill based on the approved estimates at that time, and therefore, as a result of a number of variations that have happened that gave birth to supplementary budget 1, it's therefore important that this House aligns the county additional allocations bill to the supplementary estimates, considering the variations that have been made. And as a result of that, therefore, we know that there are some changes that have been occasioned, and the case in point is the county allocation to county aggregation and industrial parks, where we're seeing that there is a reduction of 1.6, and this is as a result of we had to drop a number of counties that were onboarded so that we complete the ongoing 18 counties, Honorable Speaker. And also I know members have spoken to the community health promoters. Also, when we come to that allocation, we also note that there is a slight reduction from the 3.2 that had been approved to 2.5 billion in the supplementary, registering a decrease of 651 million. Honorable Speaker, that is also a very important allocation, and I want to believe that county governments will have to be innovative and find a way to fill the gaps so that none of the community promoters are actually dropped from the payroll. Honorable Speaker, having said this, I just want to mention that the funds that are being allocated to counties as additional conditional grants, some of this money is from the development partners, from loans and grants, and some of this money is from the national government's share of revenue. And therefore, I want to call upon our county governments. I know that from the development partner monies that we've received, that is in the form of loans and grants, some of this money will be going as grants for healthcare services. We know the challenges in our hospitals. Some hospitals still lack very basic equipment, and therefore this money from DANIDA
I want to plead with the county government to ensure that there is efficiency and accountability in the utilization of this money, so that Kenyans can see that there is value for money. There will be allocations towards agricultural value chains. There is allocation towards devolution support. There is even money towards urban support for informal settlements, among others. County governments and all the oversight institutions, we need to make sure there is proper monitoring and evaluation to ensure that there is success in implementation of these monies, so that we can be able to say, yes, this money was received. There is even monies that is supposed to go towards the urban support in terms of even doing our roads, tarmacking our towns within the counties. Let this money be put into proper use so that we can be able to see that this money has gone towards providing basic services and helping Kenyans. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, I therefore then put the question that the county government's additional elections bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2024, be now read a second time. Will, as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the opinion say nay? Ayes have it. Next order. Order, don't Rebonyekalan et al. Order.
The County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, a bill for an act of parliament to provide the additional allocations to county governments for the 2024-2025 financial year, the responsibilities of national government and county governments pursuant to such allocations and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 12, Committee of the Whole House.
Different. We, as you realize, and from Honorable Dawood's comment earlier, the schedule, third schedule, speaks to the amendment that we are proposing under the new clause 43A, and without clause 43A it would be hanging, and therefore we move that it also be dropped.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mutuse. I think we now go back to the question which was raised by the Honorable Dawood. Are you dropping this one as well?
Yes, we are dropping,
Madam
Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Chairman?
Madam Chair, we propose some definitions. Some ones have been used in the bill, but they have not been defined. And also, marketers play a pivotal role in the industry. It's therefore important to include the definition for the marketers. So I propose that we adopt the committee recommendations on the definitions as captured in the order paper.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by Chairman. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the Chairman. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 be as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Long title.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the long title be part of the bill. I propose the question that the long title be the title of the bill. Chairman?
Honorable Chair, the long title as captured in the bill misses the function of regulation. So the committee proposes that the function of regulation is integrated in the title, and therefore the amendment as captured in the order paper.
Thank you. Honorable members, I propose the question that the long title as amended be amended as proposed by the chairman. I don't see interest in this, so I now put the question that the long title be amended as proposed by the chairman. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the long title as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There be no amendment. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover? We'll come later to 39.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the committee do agree to the House its consideration I'll take this again, honorable members. Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023, and its approval with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, we have another bill to consider.
We will start with the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023. Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Thank you. The mover to move agreement with the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Dawood to second.
Honorable Dawood appears not to be in the House, must have stepped. Oh, Honorable Dawood is somewhere at the rear. Honorable Dawood, second.
Honorable Speaker, I'm very much in the House and I wish to second.
Yeah, honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable Undo, you want to contribute? Yeah, thank you. Give Honorable Undo.
Speaker, I must take this opportunity to laud the Senate for bringing the bill into this House, and we hope the amendments we have done the Senate will concur so that we expeditiously complete this process. It has been a long period since the days of the Cotton Lint and Marketing Board when cotton collapsed. We, the MPs from Busia, have done our very best to revive cotton growing. And as I say now, it's only Busia that already has a public-funded ginnery, and the second one is being funded in Pavi in Kwale. It's now time for the county government, together with the national government, to invest heavily in cotton growing so that we can expand and make sure textile and apparel become one of the key earners of dollars and becomes a key export. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, we really need to also look at how we manage the cotton cooperatives and the rest. That's a matter that we'll deal with as we prepare the National Cooperative Bill that will deal with quite a number of these issues. Finally, Honorable Speaker, those who are in charge of apparel and textile, we want to call upon them to expand their minds, to expand the level of thinking. Cotton is just only one of the raw material in the entire value chain of apparel and textile. We need to look for alternative sources of raw material so that our industry can become a composite industry to enable us deepen and ensure that we get more jobs created in that sector. With those few remarks, Chair, Honorable Speaker, thanks for my colleague Mary Amasa for adopting and moving it here. I can take you to Luanda Dinner and buy a cup of tea over the weekend. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, the Honorable Wilberforce Oundo. Honorable members, for the convenience of the House, I will defer putting question to the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2023 to the future, when it will next be scheduled by the House Business Committee, possibly in the afternoon or tomorrow. Could we have the chairperson on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2024, to report to the House?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2023, and its approval. Honorable Speaker, I'll take this again. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2024, and approved the same with amendments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Move to move agreement with the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and I also request Honorable Naomi Wako to second.
Deputy Majority Whip.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Does the Honorable Elsie Mwanda want to speak to this? There are very many requests, are there, of members seeking to speak to this? Or to the next order, eh? Yeah, again, honorable members, for the convenience of the House, putting of the question to the matter of the County Government's Additional Locations Bill, Senate Bill number 19 of 2024, stands deferred to the future when it will next be scheduled by the House Business Committee for consideration by the House. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, policy and funding for sugarcane farming in the country.
The mover was the Honorable Nabulindo. You had quite a number of minutes to go, so you will continue moving. Give the Honorable Oscar Nabulindo the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you have rightly put, last week on Wednesday, I was moving this motion, but time caught up with us, and you informed me that I have 25 minutes to move the motion. But I will not utilize the entire 25 minutes because my colleagues are here and they have expressed interest in the motion, so I'll give them a little bit more time. Mr. Speaker, as I was saying when I was moving this motion, the purpose of this motion is actually to make sure that the farmer is well taken care of so that he can be able to produce sugarcane the way it's supposed to be. As I was saying last time, there has been efforts to revive the sugarcane industry over a long period of time. And so many stakeholders have been involved. So many people have been involved, including the government, the farmers, leaders, politicians, businessmen, and everybody else who is interested in the sugarcane industry. But the problem is we have always missed the point. We have always targeted the millers, and we have forgotten the farmer. And without the farmer being empowered, the sugarcane industry will always struggle to stand on its feet. Because the only engine that can drive the revival of the sugarcane industry is provision of adequate and quality raw materials. And that can only be provided by the farmers. Because the little land that was set aside as the nucleus estate cannot sustain the miller even for a week. The big percentage of raw materials that are taken to the milling factories come from the farmers. But the farmer has always been neglected. Initially, when the sugarcane industry was beginning in Kenya, that is in the 70s, there was a clear way in which farmers were empowered to produce the sugarcane. First, there were elaborate research done on the land, on the seed cane, and on the acreage that the farmer has that can be available for farming. And before the factories could be taken care of, the farmer was first taken care of. I remember very well, and it's very well in the history, that I'll give an example from Mias zone, where I come from, that at that time, after the registration of farmers, after establishing how much acreage the farmer is able to utilize, the then Buka company provided the farmer with inputs like tractors so that the land could be plowed. After plowing the land could be harrowed. Then the farmer will be provided with the quality seed cane. Then after provision of the quality seed cane, the farmer will be provided with fertilizer to do the planting of the seed cane. That enabled the farmer to start the process of sugarcane production. And that process did not stop there. After 6 to 8 months, the farmer was provided with fertilizer for top dressing. And there were extension services provided by the company or the miller at that time to educate the farmer on how to take care of his crop. Unfortunately, right now, such services are not there. The farmers have been left alone, and they are not able to know what to do because we have a new generation of farmers. They are not the old farmers that we used to know. So the new generation of farmers are not given any information on how to cultivate the sugarcane. Mr. Speaker, this lack of financial support to the farmer is the major reason why the sugarcane industry is not peaking at all. And therefore, this motion is intended to make sure that the government of Kenya and the investors who are investing in the milling factory of sugarcane, they put aside to enable that farmer to produce the sugarcane that they so dearly want. Mr. Speaker, last week after I had started moving this motion, I received a lot of feedback, but 80% were positive feedback from the sugarcane farmers. But the 20% were questioning, why is it that every other time the leaders from Western Province are always talking about sugarcane farming? Why can't we do something else? That's what they told me. And my reply to that is that we cannot give up. We cannot do something else. Sugarcane farming is what we know. Sugarcane farming is what the people of Western, the people of Mumias, the people of Bungoma, the people of Kisumu, the people of Busia, and other areas know. This is what we know. And as the saying goes, Mr. Speaker, in our community, they say, if a child finds a mushroom in the field, that child will always go back to that spot in the hope that he will one day again pick a mushroom. The sugarcane industry was the backbone of the economy of the people of Western. This is our economy. We did everything from the sugarcane. And therefore, we have nostalgic memories. We have nostalgic memories about this. Most of us are here because of the sugarcane industry. I went to school because my grandfather and my father were able to pay my school fees through the sugarcane farming. But that is not possible right now because there is a big problem. Most farmers uprooted their cane. They uprooted their cane because there was no profit at all from the farming of sugarcane. And therefore, as leaders, we are always going to fight for the welfare of the farmer because we have established factories already there. So if someone suggests that we should stop sugarcane farming and do something else, what are we going to do with those factories that are already there? What are we going to do with them? Mumia's sugar is there. Nzoya's sugar, Nzoya sugar factory is there. Miwan is there. Son is there. So if we stop farming, sugarcane farming, where do we take all this facility? What do we do with them? So we are going to look for ways and means to make sure that sugarcane farming is again profitable to those people who used to profit from it. Mr. Speaker, the collapse of the sugar industry in the Western region led to numerous problems that sometimes we can't speak about them. The families that depended on this activity dived directly into abject poverty, and they have never been able to rise from it. Most families have now resorted to selling of that land because that's the only thing they have. That land can no longer be productive. So if they want to educate their children, they cut a piece of that land and they sell. In another year, they will sell again. Now, eventually, families do not have the land anymore. But the little that is there can be utilized. And we cannot bank on the large tracts of land that used to be there because they are no longer there. Due to increased population, families have divided the land. Therefore, the government needs to put elaborate frameworks in place to make sure that we have enough land for sugarcane production. And that can only happen if we engage the communities that used to do that. We engage the communities positively and try to make available land that is supposed to be used for sugarcane production. Mr. Speaker, we also need to set up an elaborate research center that can do research on sugarcane farming, sugarcane production, and sugarcane marketing, and anything concerning sugarcane. Of course, we have such institutions in place, but their findings do not reach the farmer. The farmer is still in a cocoon. He does not understand, what am I supposed to do next? It is very difficult for us to expect the farmer to be able to produce sugarcane the way they used to do, and yet there is no funding of any sort. Right now, farmers, all the sugarcane farmers, I can say all the sugarcane farmers, are not empowered at all. They are poor. So where do they get the capital to even buy the seed cane? Where do they get the capital to buy fertilizer, to prepare the land, to harvest the cane and transport the cane to the factory? These are very expensive activities that when we leave it to the farmer, we are technically telling the farmer, stop farming. If we do not support the farmer, we are condemning that farmer to poverty for life. Mr. Speaker, therefore, this motion, the purpose of this motion is to look at the farmer, to finally look at the farmer. In the equation of sugarcane revival, in the equation of sugarcane industry revival, where is the farmer? That is the question that has been disturbing the minds of very many leaders in the Western province. And now we need to put frameworks in place so that we look at the farmer with a critical eye, with the intent of empowering this person to produce good quality sugarcane that will enable the millers to stand. Mr. Speaker, lastly, even if we struggle to revive the sugarcane industry, if we don't look at issues that bring bad management to the millers, we shall not succeed. And the policies of the government are also not helping the farmers. For example, the COMESA protocol. According to me, the COMESA protocol is responsible for bringing down the sugarcane industry. Once we allow cheap imports to come in the country to compete with our high-quality sugarcane, then obviously the market forces will force the cheap imports to overwhelm our sugarcane industry. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I will stop there, and because my colleagues are here, I will ask my Vakoki, the Member of Parliament for Kabuchai, Mheshimiwa Kalasinga Majimbo, to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majimbo Kalasinga, second.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. This motion of the Honorable Vakoki, Mr. Speaker, is a Western term, and it means you are circumcised the same year. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, you know very well that Honorable Nabulindo and Honorable Majimbo Kalasinga, myself, were elected on the same date on a by-election. That's where it comes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the motion of Honorable Nabulindo puts a farmer.
What did you say happened to you with the mover in the same year?
Honorable Speaker, the reference he has put is onomatopoeia, Mr. Speaker. It puts us together in the same circle when we were elected and when we were circumcised. So the word Bakoki, Mr. Speaker, is sweet word term used for a person you love most. Mr. Speaker, the motion that Honorable Nabulindo has put across here to this assembly puts a farmer as a central midfielder in this sugar industry, Mr. Speaker. We cannot, as a nation, Mr. Speaker, put much emphasis, serious emphasis on the millers alone. You know, Mr. Speaker, you know very well that a river that forgets its source is a river that will die soon. And the source of all the sugar industry in Kenya is a farmer, Mr. Speaker. A farmer is the one who prepares the stabilization of a miller.